Remember, fellas, if your sledgehammer is burning, consult your doctor immediately. I'm John Rant with my review of WWE Raw, and I'm sorry, I just don't fucking know what to say about that ending. I'll get to it in a bit, but that ending was so fucking stupid, bonkers, that I don't even really know what to say. For the first time, I was like left speechless. Like, why? Why are they doing this? Why are they basically just doing all this bullshit, making the Hogan and Warrior Fireball spot from Halloween Havoc 98 seem good by comparison? Holy fucking shit. This show was just not that good. Now, I do want to say, Raw has had its good moments. It has, despite the complaints I've had about it, and same with SmackDown, same with NXT, even since before the pandemic. There's been good moments. There's a lot of great talent on Raw, but Vince McMahon does not care about putting on a compelling show anymore. I swear he's trying to copy WCW 2000. Just throwing all the shit at the wall to see what sticks. And that's pretty much what fucking happened. Drew McIntyre, I'll talk about him here in a bit, but it's a shame what happened, and I'm gonna talk about it here. But I'm just gonna start the review. Proper recaps of Legends Night. You know, that show that maybe bumped the rating up, what, like 500,000 people, something like that. I mean, they didn't bump them up like, you know, like 200%. They didn't basically get them like 4 million. So the Legends aren't really as much of a draw as they thought. To be fair, the Legends were just background players. And then we get Triple H here. A lot of fake crowd noise. Triple H should have retired years ago. I would argue that Triple H should have retired with Batista, and that should have been the end of it. We then get Orton coming down saying, well, the Office showed up because Drew couldn't. Triple H says, I'm aware. I'm aware you're aware. I'm aware that you're aware that I'm aware that you're aware that you're aware of this. They might as well have just been doing a Laurel and Hardy bit, for God's sakes. Orton wants to be number 30 in the Rumble. No, Triple H says. Triple H doesn't understand why Orton is doing this. Orton has been the legend killer since 2003, Triple H. I know that was your reign of terror, and we all wish we could forget about that. Someone like you will never be champion. But, yeah, we just can't always get what we want. Booker T, you know, not kicking out of the pedigree after 23 fucking seconds. No, I'm not going to forget that. I never will. Orton then challenges him to a fight. Says, hey, well, you know, maybe I'll take you out. And then we get something about, you know, a line about balls being in Stephanie's purse. Were you unable to retrieve your balls from Stephanie's purse? I swear, I saw this a while ago. I heard the same damn line. Why are they repeating shit? You can only repeat things in wrestling so many times before I'm like, what the fuck? It's all blending together. So, yeah, Triple H punches him out. We get a main event of that. And it somehow gets worse from there. Charlotte at least knows what year it is. That's a plus. That's a positive. That's really good. She talks about getting revenge on Lacey because Lacey's trying to get with Rick. She's not the first man that's hit on her dad and won't be the last. Rick's happily married for like the 50th time, but hey, at least he seems actually happy. But Lacey, then they cut backstage. Sarah looked great, by the way. Sarah Schreiber looked great doing the interviews. Lacey has her sheer fisting gloves ready and dedicates this match to Ric Flair. We then cut to Drew McIntyre in quarantine, cutting a promo that he sent in, I assume on his phone or a camera or something, but whatever. And he mentions he has no symptoms. That he mentions the virus. This is the first time WWE has publicly acknowledged the virus. Now, I want to say right now, Drew McIntyre, I hope, regardless of when he comes back to wrestling, and he is a tremendous athlete and should be able to beat this quickly. Hopefully he can. And be back in time for the Rumble to Claymore kick Goldberg's head off and beat him in 30 seconds to a minute. I just want Drew to be able to have a happy, healthy life regardless. I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying I want him to be able to, you know, have a great career, rest of the career, and then have a great life and have no ill effects from this. I believe he's married, and I wish nothing but the best for him and his wife. He says mask up, social distancing, and all that. And, you know, we'd be further along if people actually wanted to wear their goddamn masks and not be selfish and, you know, stupid motherfuckers. But don't worry, I'm going to talk about some of those fuckers here in a bit. So, anyway, Lacey versus Charlotte. Look, Charlotte can't work that good with everybody, and Charlotte is a very good athlete. And here's the thing, Lacey needs more big match experience. She had that feud with Becky, and she hits a hell of a moonsault, a better moonsault than Charlotte ever could. God damn it. Charlotte's going to shatter her goddamn knees one of these days doing the moonsault like she does. But anyway, Charlotte just at times moves so unnaturally. It's like if a mannequin just gained sentience and couldn't figure out how to walk. It's kind of like that episode of The Twilight Zone where that mannequin gained, you know, life for like 24 hours and then couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. Remember that? I don't remember the name of it, but it was a great episode. Twilight Zone, great show. Anyway, so Charlotte, though, moves very, very awkwardly. Now, yes, Lacey has, you know, again, the big match experience and stuff, but this The story was what was driving it here. Rick does show up eventually because, Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion in tip-top shape and everything, contracted the virus. So why not send 71,000-year-old Ric Flair down there with all his health issues? I guess he really needs the money that bad. And then natural selection, Rick puts Lacey's foot on the rope and then soon after trips Charlotte. Because what? I didn't do anything. And then trips Charlotte and then holds the leg down while Lacey covers her. Kind of like Hogan, well, no, not Hogan, but Warrior Rick Rude at Mania 5 when Bobby Heenan did that. And then Warrior was really goddamn careless with Bobby Heenan because Ultimate Warrior's a fucking prick and I'm glad he's dead. And I don't fucking care about saying that. I'll mention that whenever Ultimate Warrior is brought up. So anyway, I feel bad for Bobby Heenan. I feel really bad for him. Cancer's a goddamn bitch. Anyway, Lacey wins and are they implying that Lacey's going to become Rick's new stepmother? Or Charlotte's new stepmother? That would be very, very awkward if she was Rick's stepmother. But anyway, are we going to go Al Wilson, Dawn Marie, and Tori Wilson here? Please don't. I really don't want to go that trashy, even though it was hilarious. We don't need to fucking do that. Sadly, that's the one thing that people remember from Dawn Marie's WWE run. And she was there for like 4 years. 3-4 years. So anyway, we get Lee and Sheamus, and Lee says, if Drew respects you, then so do I. And then Miz and Morrison do more bad comedy. I want to say right now, I regret ever saying that Miz should have won the Money in the Bank briefcase. This is a bad idea. Eliminate the Money in the Bank briefcase. Elias can't wrestle because he has blisters. Blisters on me fingers! So Cracker Commander Riker decides to step in and face Jeff Hardy. And he says he's inspired by Elias to destroy. Let me say right now here, if you guys don't want to fucking hear anything about, any political stuff, then I don't really fucking care because it's my show. I'm going to say what the fuck I want. So, okay, Cracker Commander Riker. One, he said the tweet, or sent out the tweet, never forgotten during, the whole George Floyd protest thing. One of the many protests and said, oh, thank you, Mr. President. Of course, somebody that, looks like Commander Cracker Riker, Cracker Commander Riker, whatever the fuck it is, Jackson Proud Boy is what I'm going to fucking call him. He, of course, would support Trump. But let me just say right now, he's a fucking coward. He's a goddamn coward. And he probably wishes that he could have been part of the D.C. riots, the D.C. domestic terrorism. And that's what it fucking is. It was domestic terrorism. It wasn't patriotism. Every single person that was involved in that needs to be jailed for life. I don't care what political party you fall on. I don't care left. I don't care center left, center right, far right, far left. I don't fucking care. This is not a political thing. It's not a liberal, conservative thing. It's not a Republican, a Democrat thing. It's not any of that fucking shit. What that was a bunch of goddamn stupid, racist, homophobic babies that decided to get all upset because, oh no, our leader's being taken away, our orange Hitler's being taken away. And yeah, that's what he fucking is. That's what Trump always has fucking been. But he decides to, I'm going to put all these people in line of fire. I'm not going to bail them out because they're basically like the Jim Jones cultists. If only, never mind. That's basically what they are. They're all a bunch of fucking goddamn idiots. They're a bunch of fucking goddamn morons. And any of them that get caught deserve to have no jobs. They deserve to have no goddamn... Put them on a goddamn private island. They do not deserve to be American. You're not American. You're anti-American. You are anti-humanity if you buy into any of that stuff. And if you actually support Trump in any goddamn way, and I'm not talking if you're a conservative. If you're a conservative and you still want to be that and you denounce Trump, fine, cool. You have the freedom to feel however the fuck you want. But guess what? That's not about freedom. That's about a bunch of goddamn racist motherfucking morons that never deserve to call themselves American, that deserve to be slapped down repeatedly, and quite frankly, deserve to have every goddamn family member leave them. Have their family members go somewhere else. They deserve to rot alone and afraid. Every single fucking one of them. And I'll make any goddamn apologies. And if you agree with any of the goddamn shit that happened in the DC riots, any of the shit, any of that stuff, that was the attempted insurrection, all that stuff, all these buzzwords and everything, if you actually were okay with people, regardless of your political affiliation, invading and attacking the Capitol building because they were upset that their fucking loser president lost, then you know what? You're a fucking asshole and I don't want you on my goddamn channel. You don't deserve to watch my videos. You don't deserve to have fun. You don't deserve rights. You don't deserve families. You don't deserve love. You don't deserve any goddamn happiness. At fucking all. Fuck you and fuck the fact that you were ever born. I don't care if you guys want to get offended. You guys don't fucking deserve any goddamn shit in this world. You don't deserve freedom. Because guess what? You want to be toxic and you want to be poisonous like that, that is going to just rot you from the inside. Take it from somebody that used to be fucking racist, homophobic, and really hateful to the point that it did for a long time rot my brain. And I've never claimed to be a goddamn saint. I'm not a goddamn saint. I make a lot of jokes and I will make a lot of goddamn jokes. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to always stand up for truth and democracy and everything. And whether I'm a fan, and I'm not even a big fan of Biden, but guess what? He's a hell of a lot better than Trump, and you don't want to admit that your fucking loser candidate lost because he's a fucking loser. He's always been a fucking loser. You bought into it, and you got suckered in. You're all suckers. You're all idiots. You're all motherfucking pieces of shit. You always have been, you always fucking will be, and so many people have exposed themselves as pieces of shit. And let me say, if you think that I care one bit if you guys want to get offended, here's the deal. I've kicked out family members out of my life. I've seriously said, no, I don't want to fucking talk to you guys. I don't care. I never want to hear from you guys again. I've kicked out friends that I've known for 20 goddamn years that wanted to expose themselves as goddamn idiots. Some that were even part, of like anti-mask rallies and stuff like that and anti-lockdown and all this shit because they're a bunch of stupid fucking white people. And I know it's not just white people that voted for Trump. There's a bunch of goddamn idiots all around. It's a bunch of motherfucking brainwashed stupid morons. And I don't care how many subscribers I lose or gain from this. I want to say that if you still support Trump after this, if you support him in any way, if you support any of that shit that happened in the Capitol building, if you don't support some level of decorum and democracy, whether you're a liberal, a conservative, whether you're whatever, then you're a fucking anti-American twat and I want nothing to do with you. And nobody should want anything to do with you. You deserve to rot alone and afraid like the pathetic, worthless piece of shit you are. I want you to take a look at that shit right back there. All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And if that bothers you, if you want to try and make it about Black Lives Matter and say all lives matter and everything. No. You can take that and you can shove it. Yes, all lives do matter, but guess what? All lives aren't the ones being fucking targeted. And I just wonder, if any of the people that were if any of the people that happen to be minorities, and of any description in that, I wonder what would have fucking happened. You don't want to admit that Trump is a goddamn toxic piece of shit. You don't want to admit that you are toxic pieces of shit. And if you don't want to change, I don't want anything to fucking do with you. So that's all I got to say about that. That includes Commander Cracker Riker. And that includes Proud Boy Jackson. That includes him, and I hope his wife and his children leave him and grow up in a better household. So that's all I got to fucking say about that. Anyway, let's get back to the reviews, provided that, I haven't gotten just completely shot down by that. Anyway, after 1 minute, we do the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling. Surprise, roll up 1, 2, 3. And, Riker wins. That's how they're doing this. And then Jeff challenges Elias to a match. And Elias says to Riker, don't interfere. And then Jeff beats Elias with a swanton in a few minutes. And Elias says, you didn't help me. You told me not to. Anyway, Lee and Sheamus versus Miz and Morrison. Good. I wasn't, sufficiently convinced that they don't know what to do with Keith Lee. I'm still not sure they know what to do with Keith Lee. He was featured well in this match. Sheamus needs to retire this year. The rope broke, by the way. The turnbuckle actually just popped completely off because that's how strong Lee is. I hope Morrison's okay because that was fucking insane. They fixed it during the break. Great ring crew there. 340 pounds ramming into Morrison. Hi to anybody that would find that to be a turn on. Bro kick, gets Morrison. Okay, cool, whatever. That's what we're going with. And by the way, they're celebrating. So, okay, cool. Sheamus tagged himself in. Lee's celebrating and him and Lee are celebrating. Then we cut back to Sarah interviewing Triple H. He will face Orton. The camera is 500% too close to Triple H's face. And then Lee and Sheamus are suddenly fighting. Now, I get it that Sheamus had been, like Lee had been saying that Drew can't trust Sheamus and this kind of stuff and everything, and we'd had the banter back and forth. But we had nothing where it's like, hey, wait a second, we didn't cut back to see Lee saying, hey, you tagged yourself in, I should have done this. Well, let's have a match or something. They didn't do that. They suddenly start fighting. Just fill time. Did we jump like 3 weeks? What the fuck's going on? Why was Lee so pissed? I mean, I kind of went over the reasons, but still. Spirit Bomb, 1, 2, 3. And then show respect afterwards. Watch him win the tag titles from the Hurt Business. Just fuck with everybody. Drew addresses Goldberg. Drew is desperate to get this shit over. Drew talking about all the great shit that Goldberg did in his career 20 fucking years ago. And I know he did a couple other things, squashing Brock, the squash Brock, if you will, at Survivor Series 2016. But I can't name a lot of great moments that he had in WWE. I can't. He had a couple moments, but I'll talk about Goldberg here in a little bit, but it's just he was trying so hard to get this over. I mean, he did his best. He did say that he did accept Goldberg's challenge, and I hope that Drew, tests negative after quarantine and he's back 100%. I really hope he is. He's a freak athlete. I just want him to be healthy. Riddle, then, I don't know what the fuck Riddle was on about. He talked about pizza. Apparently, he is a true Ninja Turtle, and talks with Metalik and Dorado. He says, it's like, well, you can't watch your own back. It's physically impossible. I have to admit that line made me laugh, probably because it just kind of reminded me of Good Burger. You better watch your ass or you better watch your butt. It's impossible for somebody to watch their own butt. So yeah, and by the way, Riddle essentially is like a bad version of the Good Burger characters. Home of the Good Burger, maybe we take your order. Riddle, what is Riddle on about? Woods versus T-Bar of Retribution. With Retribution, by the way. Kofi apparently, I guess, is nursing that injury. It's either legit or they just gave him a week off. We cut to a brief tape of T-Bar saying that he will reshape Woods' trombone, or reshape his bone, I'm not sure. Where's your family? As everybody yells, just backs it, yells constantly. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Well, actually, they were yelling at ringside, but if they'd actually had Retribution just be a group that caused anarchy and they had actually done this right, it still wouldn't have been very good, but it would have been better than it was. It wasn't very fucking good. Anyway, this is pretty shit. T-Bar wins with Stanley Kubrick's last movie, and if you get it, you fucking get it. USA Network Twitter feed apparently got it, which shocked me. Yeah, T-Bar wins. I didn't care. I don't care about Retribution. Not that there aren't talents. I mean, Shane Thorne's also there. Not that there isn't potential with some of the talents. Just not in this gimmick. It's not good. No matter how much they tried to retcon it or, revive it or polish it up, it's not going to fucking work. Riddle versus Lashley. One hardly needs to go on about this. Lashley attacked before the bell, bleeding internally. Hurt Lock for the win. Riddle is a sore loser and challenges MVP to a win. MVP wearing a shirt that the 70s would be proud of. Lashley causes a DQ, and that's it. And then we get a beatdown. And a commentary line for the recaps. That's all it took for Lashley to insert himself. Insert his dominance. Hey, Lashley attacking Riddle, and taking advantage of him. Riddle knows how it fucking feels. You goddamn piece of shit. You should be fired. $400,000 a year over 3 years. Riddle ain't worth that. I'm sorry. I don't care how good of an athlete he is. How great of an athlete he is. He ain't fucking worth that. He's basically discount RVD. Believe me, with my opinions on RVD, how hard do you have to try to be discount RVD? Styles then talks to Adam Pearce about, how it could be Adam Pearce versus AJ Styles once AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble and Adam Pearce beats Roman Reigns. And then he talks about, rubbing a, lamp to get a genie to grant the wish. The genie community. And then Gulak shows up with a flash drive of all the people he's beaten. And then Pearce says, hey, why don't you face Styles in a qualifying match? And he does. And almost scares him. They're back to calling him almost. And then we get Phenomenal Forum. Man, Styles loves fisting his opponents to get the victory. And then Goldberg video package. Man, look at all those cool moments from Goldberg's career at its peak, in 98, 99. Yeah, I wasn't even 20 yet. I'm 40 now. I don't blame Goldberg for taking the money. I don't blame him at all. Goldberg should be allowed to take the goddamn money and do whatever the fuck he wants. If Vince is going to pay him, that's Vince's fault. I don't blame Goldberg for it. Goldberg's shelf life was a few years. He shouldn't have even come back from WWE after the, Mania 20 match. I get why he did. He wanted to, show his son what he used to do and stuff like that. Goldberg he doesn't have it anymore. He fucking doesn't have it. Couldn't even lift the Fiend. Couldn't even have a good match with Braun. You need to stop this. It was cool to have Bischoff, cut some new interview pieces. And, the title reigns that Goldberg basically butchered. Kevin Owens's, even though it did lead to Brock winning the championship and holding it way too long. And then he destroyed the Fiend's title reign, which he should have never given it to the Fiend. And then Lee talks to Triple H. Well, I need to be there for you, and offers to take his place. Triple H is like, no, I need the spotlight. I'm the game. So anyway, Nia and Shayna versus Mandy and Dana. You wonder if Nia offered her superior immune system to Drew, to help him. Oh wait, no, she could have offered him her ACLs, but she tore them when she offered them. No, I don't actually wish injury on Nia. She's just very injury prone and loves to hurt people because that's all she can fucking do. Why is this match happening? Oh, by the way, they did a pre-tape with Mandy and Dana saying, we're going to drop you faster than a Kardashian drops Kanye West. The fact that they're trying to make one of the Kardashians, any kind of viable person, like as the face of the whole divorce is fucking bullshit. They're both goddamn toxic pieces of shit. The whole Kardashian family, the whole Jenner family are all pieces of shit. Kanye West is a piece of shit. He's had like maybe 2 good songs that he ripped off from other people. He had to collaborate because Kanye West doesn't really have any fucking talent. Anyway, Shayna attacks Mandy, and Nia looks confused, like, why didn't you let me splash her off the top? Because you always hurt people, Nia. Take your superior immune system and shove it up your ass. Triple H versus Orton. It's a fight. Round 1. Fight. The last 6 minutes. Apparently, this is WCW Nitro 2000. Triple H is aged 10 years and 3. He gets a sledgehammer out. Orton's cheek gets cut on his face. And then the lights go out. The lights start to go out, and Triple H is like, well, I've seen The Fiend do this stuff, but I'm going to keep going in the ring. And then suddenly he's in the ring. His sledgehammer catches fire, which, at his age, that's going to happen. And then the lights out. And then he's gone. Suddenly Triple H is gone. I guess he was burned alive and into dust? Did he pull a Dark Souls and just vanish? What the fuck's going on? Here's Alexa. Pain and whatever the fuck the other glove is. Pain and Play, is that it? I don't fucking remember the glove. I don't fucking care. And then Orton's like, wondering what the hell's going on. And she shoots a fireball complete with explosive effect. Shoots it at Orton's eyes. Oh, my eyes. I'm not supposed to get fireball in it. That's why you drink fireball. Don't drink, kids. Drinking's bad. Anyway, the show is shit. Shit. What the fuck was that ending? Why is she shooting fireballs? What's going on? Why? Why? How is USA Network still greenlighting this? I like some shows on USA Network, but goddamn, it's not even good wrestling. It's not even entertainment. It's not even wrestling. It's just world wacky excrement, I guess. Fuck, I don't know. I'm out of ideas. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.